So I will get this scoreboard kicked up. You want to take play-by-play for a second?
And the ball looks like it's still in bounds, and it's going to be Harvard spilling it out to the edge and starting from a quick tap and go. Harvard's ball. They're managing to get it out to the sides quick. He's looking for a breakaway right there, but the ball just doesn't go to hand and spills out. But it's a quick pickup from number 11, Harvard. And it looks like it's going to be a knock-on. We've come out here today and we've seen some great teams playing this morning. It's a beautiful day out in Texas and Houston. And I gotta say, I always say Saturday's a rugby day, but I think it's gonna be a Sunday as well.
Sunday definitely makes for a good rugby day, especially during a tournament like this when you get to all the hardware games. And that's where we're at now. Every game from here on out, somebody's taking home some hardware. So this particular game is the bowl match for the Premier Division, Drury versus Harvard. As you see, Harvard showing that strong defense that they've showed us all weekend. They're just swarming the Drury offense and just not letting them have much space to run.
Harvard definitely has a way of making sure that there is absolutely no way for the opposing team to have a breakaway.
Drury looking to reset. Ball's out, going over to the left-hand side now. Harvard closing fast. He's going to look to step, but again, that defense just closes too fast. Drury rucking. Ball's going to come back to the right. Harvard just not going to leave them any openings as Drury looking for the offload, but Harvard slowly driving them backwards, and Drury really in that dangerous place, Issa. They're down in that zone where, you know, just a small miscommunication or an error, a turnover, but there Drury breaks one free, and he's down the sideline. He's got one to beat, can't quite get past him, but just like that, Drury takes it out to their own 10, and they're out of that danger zone where just a small infraction is very dangerous. Harvard takes command though, picks the ball up, and an errant pass is going to go to ground, and looks like the ref says that was a forward pass. So we'll have us a Drury scrum here. Looks to be about 10 meters out from the try line.
It does. I mean, Drury in that, this is why it's so important to make sure when you're running you have that support. If they had just had that extra person on hand to do a quick offload, Drury really could have exploited it and gone for that try, but sadly it is just not what's coming to pass. You can see the boys getting a little bit frazzled in and of themselves, but right now is the time. We're still early on in the game. We could slow it down, break it back down to the basics, and go from there. And we're going to go into the scrum and see who wins.
Drury lines up for the scrum here. The set. Ball's in. Drury back to the left now. Looking to force Harvard to open up some holes, open up some space that they can run through. No real gain there. Maybe a meter past the gain line. Looking to step back up the middle. Brought down by the ankles.
Mark, if you're Drury, what are you thinking right now? Harvard's defense is completely locking them down. How can they make a way through this?
You know, the one thing I'm seeing, I mean, Harvard, is locking them down, but they're also kind of honeypotting off over on Drury's left right now. If Drury can make a quick move and take a couple of good support lines off to the right-hand side, they might be able to open up a hole that they can exploit. We watched Sam Houston earlier today run an absolute clinic on support lines. They just one after another offloading it. It's the kind of rugby you love to see, so I think that's what Drury needs right now. But here you see Harvard's taking the ball, and they're going to take it out. They're going to take advantage of the hole off over on the side as Harvard takes it in for a quick try.
Fantastic execution from Harvard there. We're going to look back on this film if we get a chance and just get to see exactly what Harvard did there. They did a quick overload, drawing in the defensive side, able to quickly pop it to the side, spilling it out, and it was some great work.
Unfortunately, we missed the replay on that one, but we'll try to get you some replays in the future as these big plays happen. I need to put points on the board. The way this works, I've got to replay knocked away. Was conversion good? So conversion no good. And so we're about 4.5 minutes in here. A lot of back and forth in this match. And it's Harvard 5, Drury 0. Good booming kick, fielded over the shoulder by Drury. Again, Harvard just closing up those holes.
I got to give it to the Drury men, though. They're really putting a fight out there.
That they are. I mean, there's no give up in that Drury side. They just need the good execution, some good support lines that open a hole, and there they find one down the right-hand side. Harvard quick to close it up, but that's going to be knocked into touch. Appeared to be Harvard, but we'll see what the AR says. And it was Harvard knocked that one into touch. So here Drury with a bit of a line break, finally into Harvard territory. They're going to get a line out.
This is their chance. They have some time. They have some ground. If they just regather themselves and are able to get it out to the wing, make that run, I'm excited to see what they could do.
Hard hit by the Harvard defense there. As Drury turns the ball over, so Harvard's going to do a quick tap at midfield. Looking to go off the left, on the right. Off to the right, they've got an opening, and Harvard done. He steps the last defender. He's going to take that one all the way in. Nobody in front of him at this point, and so just like that.
Absolutely fantastic try from Harvard. There was a little quick step there on the edge, and I gotta say that little extra joint of movement on the side, able to sprint off that outside leg and propel himself forward. Great work from Harvard. I am really impressed by what I'm seeing out here today.
Harvard quick to exploit any hole they can find on the wing as we see the conversion kick up. Ref's arms up, put 2 points up. So Harvard takes the score to 12-0 here as we're coming up on the close of the first half. And there is the ref's whistle. The boys are coming in, and so we'll go to halftime here with the score Harvard 12, Drury 0. And so I will turn you over to Issa for a moment while we reconfigure the scoreboard for the second half.
This has been such a good game of rugby today. Being out here, getting to be in the heat, playing a game that we all love, I gotta say, Sevens does have a different technical strategy than 15s. Some of the boys that are coming on the pitch today are normally 15s players, so for them, this is a lot more sprinting, a lot more fast-paced movement than what we're normally used to. They're coming off of the season really good this year, and I'm loving. There's a lot of exhaustion happening, but they're using great hands, able to get that ball movement forward and making grounds on both teams. You know, coming into this half as a coach, I'd probably be saying, like, here's what's good on Harvard, their defense. We know that they can do their defense. It's moments like this where we gotta just draw them in as close as we possibly can, try to go for a breakaway, try to get them tired, because right now they don't seem that tired. Mark, do you have any remarks on what we think we can see?
100% aligned with you there. Now, one thing to look out for as well is a lot of these teams are from the north and northeast, and so you know it's a nice sunny beautiful spring day for us down here in Texas, but it's a bit hot for some of these teams, and that heat may come into play as you get into the second half of these games, and the sweat and exhaustion starts to get to them. But as you said, you know, Sevens is a running game. It's all about the cardio, all about keeping that fitness up. Probably see some subs come in later. But yeah, so far a good match as Harvard is up 12-0, and we'll see this one kick off here again just shortly. And here we see the Harvard team breaking their huddle, headed back out, taking their positions to restart. Sorry, I think I said the Harvard team. This is the Drury team taking their positions.
It's a little hard, you know. We're both doing red on black, red on black.
There's just too much red on the field on this match. Hard to keep them straight.
You've seen some good teams out here today. Is there a favorite moment that you've gotten to see from some plays?
I think far and away my favorite moment was, as I mentioned earlier, when Sam Houston put on a support lines clinic. I mean, they took it right up through the middle through a strong defense, and just every time they hit, the support player was right there for the immediate offload, and they strung together about 5 of them in a row. Now Harvard here with the kickoff, and so that's going to go deep. Drury's going to bobble it. That could be trouble.
It could be, but you know what? They're locking in.
Drury resets, and looks like Harvard called for not rolling away from the tackle. So Drury with a chance to reset. tap and go. We'll see if he elects to kick. Yep, he goes for the tap. Crosses the field. Looks for the goose step, trying to get someone to bite on the goose step and give him a chance to open up a hole. Drury making a few meters there, coming out a little past the 22 at this point.
Looking for that breakaway. He was coming in clean, but Harvard saw it.
Drury really running the ball well. It's just Harvard's just doing an outstanding job of closing off the defensive front, closing off the holes. There, Drury almost breaks one free, brought down from behind. And he's going to be called for not releasing the ball. So just a bit inside Drury territory. Harvard will take over. Going down the right-hand side, and he's going to be around the wing. The winger catches him, tackles him into touch. So that was a try-saving tackle, Lisa.
Ooh, that was close as they come. Drury is really putting up a fight here. They do not want Harvard to get it in. We're a couple meters out from the try line. It looks like we're going to throw it in. So we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, Drury setting up for the line out. We saw a number of games yesterday where, particularly in the second half, as we are here today, the teams, one team or the other, just absolutely exploded and went from not scoring much in the first half to scoring 3, 4, 5 tries in the second. So Drury looking to find that spark, put something together as they get a good line out. Deep in their own territory, though, such a danger zone. There's the safety kick. Get that out of the danger zone. Drury giving chase. He's going to beat him to it. Oh, takes a bad bounce for him, though. And that may be a knock on to Harvard. Ref signaling advantage, Drury.
Rubbers are hard. It's moments like that where if that ball just does not go your way or it goes a slight bit to the left, slight bit to the right, you're not going to get a hold of it.
There's something about rugby balls, huh? Sometimes they just bounce beautifully into the runner's hands, and sometimes they go just hard right, out of nowhere. So, and that one just went the wrong direction on him.
It is definitely
That it is. So Drury taking advantage now of the Harvard knock-on. They'll have a scrum just to the left of the midfield line. Looking to put some points on, down 12-0.
Drury is doing good on their scrums, I will say. So let's see if they can make some more movement focus. And it's a quick pass up to the middle, going in for that breakaway, and he pops it forward, and it looks like it's going to be Harvard's ball.
Looked like an opportunity about to happen there, and it just didn't quite pan out. Ball over to Harvard. So about 3.5, 4 minutes left in this half.
It's a little nerve-wracking here when you want to make those pops to your support players, but you're not calling out, and we don't exactly know where they are, and just one slight movement, and it's a possible interception for them. So we really got to work on them rucks and making sure that that ball is staying in the possession's hand of whoever has the ball.
Harvard with the scrum. Over to the left. They've got space on the right, and he breaks past the winger. Second defender giving chase. He's going to be chased down from behind, but there's a good support line. The number 4 is right where he needs to be, right when he needed to be there, and he'll take it in as Harvard puts an insurance try on the board here to go up 17-0 with about 3 minutes left to play.
We say it over and over again in Sevens Rugby, support, 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 and that is a great example of support that happened. Fantastic fake out goose step that happened right into the palm of number 4's hands, and he was able to just explode off of it straight into the try zone.
For the conversion kick, I actually don't see a kicker. Oh, I see him lining up. Okay, conversion kick is lining up. It looks like we do have a Harvard player on the ground here back about the 10-meter line. Looks like he may be holding a knee. Not quite sure. So hopefully he'll be up on his feet here shortly. The kick's good and high if it's straight enough, but it's off to the right. No good on the conversion, so 17-0. That's gonna, Harvard goes from needing 2 tries to 3 with only a couple of minutes left here. Can they do it, Isa?
You never really know with sevens. You really never know. It is quite literally a coin toss when it comes to this game. But if both teams are locking down the way that they're supposed to, I really don't know. I really don't know. Harvard has my bet at the moment.
It's amazing how that spark when it happens, it just happens, and the tries can come fast and furious. That ball doesn't make it the required 10, so Drury looking to bring it back to midfield. They'll do a quick tap. under 2 minutes at this point. Unofficial game clock saying we've got 1:40 left as Drury needing to put some points on the board. Running into contact. Harvard's looking to jackal that one. He got hands on the ball, and Drury going to be called for not releasing. So another attack stifled. And Harvard advanced forward, almost picked off by Drury, but he couldn't quite get the hands on it. And unfortunately, there was no secondary defender behind him with the miss on the attempted interception. He's out of position, and that just opened it up. Nothing but grass in front of Harvard there as they take it in for another try with coming up on about a minute to play.
I have to compliment Harvard on the way they're able to have just an absolute knowledge of where those players are. They're popping so quick, so smooth, so fast, and everyone's available. The spatial awareness is going great, and they're able to utilize it and capitalize it. You can see the opposing team is getting a little bit frazzled, and with that, Harvard is just keeping an absolute calm head coming into this, and they were able to make that gorgeous try there on the end.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. You saw Harvard is really playing well, running their support lines, knowing where their support players are, and really just taking advantage of every opportunity that's presented them right now. I believe the conversion kick is no good. Nope, I'm getting a signal that it was good, so that'll be 2 points to Harvard, and that's going to bring the score to 24-0 as the unofficial game clock is about to expire. So this game nearing the final seconds here.
You know, I gotta say, for Boston coming all the way out, we talked about the heat and how it would affect them. It seems like it's not really affecting them. If not, they're getting some juice out here on the field.
I totally agree. They're playing like it's not affecting them, that's for sure. So looks like the lineup for the restart. This may mark the last sequence of the game here, as the unofficial clock has expired. Of course, as always, the ref keeps the official clock, but it looks like Harvard's going to steal that one. It takes a Harvard bounce. And again, showing the danger of allowing that ball to bounce on those high kicks. That one's going to roll into touch. And there's the final whistle as the ref ends the match. And we're going to wind up this Premier Division bowl match with the final score, Harvard 24, Drury 0. You want to catch the winners?
Yeah. What camera? What camera? Okay, you guys played absolutely amazing today. First of all, your defensive line was locked in. Great work. What do you say was a major key today in making you win the championship?
I think it was, we had a big emphasis on getting chat from the outside, and so that allowed our interior defenders to really get set, find their man, and charge and put that pressure on the defense. And I think that's what really brought us the win.
I saw it. It was great. Everyone saw it out here. I'm sure you guys are going to go home and celebrate. Anyone you want to say good congratulations to?
Hey, I think the whole team played really well. Shout out to the boys that are at home, put in a great effort, helped us get ready for this tournament. And yeah, shout out to the entire club, players now, past players. It's all put into this. So
amazing. Well, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
Have a good one.